Welcome everyone to the L7C podcast, Dragon Ball edition. Today we're going to be talking about Dragon Ball Super manga chapter number 69, and we have our Dragon Ball expert with us today. So, Osso, how are you doing today, sir?
Doing pretty good, sir. Thanks for everything as always. How are you doing tonight?
Good, good. Chapter came out, so that was the most exciting part of my day personally, and reading it over and seeing what people are talking about on social media, and then was excited to talk to you about it tonight for our
Doesn't seem like everyone is flipping out about Super as they are. What is it?
It was Boruto last night. Yeah.
No drama filled this time around. No senzu beans being flung around to the bad guys. So pretty good chapter, or pretty interesting chapter. So
yeah.
Excited to dive into it.
Yeah, let's get right into it. Chapter 69, the evolution of planet cereal, literally cereal. And Mitch, man, if you just want to go on and talk about what happened in the chapter, go ahead.
Alrighty, so this chapter kind of split up into, I would like to say, about 4 sections. Two with about Granolah, the first and the last. The second section is about Vegeta and Beerus, and then the third section is about the heaters, and that's how we'll start tackling each section. So first section again, Granolah. Remember from the previous chapter, he found out Frieza was alive after he got his money from delivering 7-3 to the heaters and all the other hoopla jazz. He has since gone back to his home planet, planet Cereal. Again, the same planet in which the Frieza Force and the Saiyans decimated back in the day, 40 years ago. He arrives and there's a civilization on the planet. This race of creatures, they kind of look like Xeno or the Omni King, except they have what appears to be kind of like fish flippers on the side of their head, but ultimately it's almost like a copy and paste. But regardless, they're called the Sugarians. That's their race. Just a peaceful race. And so Granolah arrives back and he asks a mechanic to fix his shop. He goes to the store and he buys some supplies. One of the clerks there is talking to him just about how's it been? You going out on any new jobs lately? He says no, not with Frieza around and about. And then he asks, "Hey, how's the old man that apparently he lives with?" And he says he's over 500 years old. Like he's just basically old, right? Can't walk around much. And so on and so forth. He and the guy, before Granolah leaves, gives him an extra bottle of alcohol, juice, water, I don't know, and says that it's just a parting gift on the house. And as Granola's walking back, we find out that he actually doesn't live in the city with the Sugarians. He lives up in the mountains. And the Sugarian cities are kind of in a protective dome. When he's living on the mountain, he's not in that protective dome. And his house overlooks those cities, but also overlooks the ruins of his former town that the Saiyans destroyed. And he talks about that he doesn't want to live with them, the Sugarians, and he talks about how the planet, whenever after Frieza came through, the heaters came through, rebuilt it, and sold it to the Sugarians who were looking for a planet after theirs was presumably wrecked as well. And Granolah just reminiscence about the Saiyans, and then he says that it's a reminder to him as to what they did to his planet, and he'll never forget it. So that's it for that first section. And second section, then we get teleported over to Beerus's planet, and Beerus and Vegeta are having a discussion. And Beerus basically is just poking Vegeta. He's asking him about the first thing he asks him: how many planets have you Saiyans destroyed? Vegeta thinks about it, says that he can't really, it's hard to say. Fighting's just always the way of their life. Racking up sin after sin. And Beerus, listening to this, questions why Vegeta uses the word sin. And then Vegeta keeps talking, saying Frieza came around and it just came business as usual. And they have some discussions about it and whether or not Vegeta feels remorse for what they did or whatnot, if he blames it on Frieza, if it was on his father, whatever it might be. But and Beerus asks, so do you think it was the Saiyan's destiny to be wiped out? Vegeta believes so. Beerus kind of thinks that it's kind of ridiculous to think that. And Vegeta's like, well, my people's problems are none of your concern. And Beerus gets a little snappy. And then this is kind of where Beerus is starting to try to train Vegeta, even though Vegeta has no idea that he's actually being trained right now. He says, or Vegeta says to Beerus, weren't you going to show me the technique used by the gods? What could possibly do with the history of the Saiyans? Beerus pokes his hand behind his back and says, plenty. And then he fires a beam of energy and he destroys one of the, quote, decorative plants around his, well, planet. Destroying stuff as he's always done in the past. Whis, the Oracle Fish, Goku makes some comments about, how strong Beerus is and how he can't really shouldn't really be destroying all the stuff. And it just, there's just kind of just like an awe low Goku is. And Vegeta is just observing, and then he's like, was that the technique? And Beerus says, that was just a small glimpse of what I can do. And then Vegeta asks, how can I acquire such power? Even though he can't finish the sentence, Beerus charges at Vegeta, grabs his face, puts him in the dirt, and Vegeta completely kind of in shock as to what is going on right now. And Beerus starts giving his lesson, saying, as long as doubt weighs down your soul, this power will never be yours to wield. And Vegeta doesn't understand. And Beerus says, your own crimes aside, you're feeling guilty for the sins of all Saiyans. That's awfully self-centered for you, mortal. Then he throws Vegeta around, throws him into a tree, and this is where it actually gets funny because never thought really this would come about. But time, Beerus admits to Vegeta that it was him who recommended or suggested that Frieza kill the Saiyans. Vegeta naturally then gets pissed off and he powers up and he charges over towards Beerus trying to fight him, and they have a pretty cool match here. And as I don't want to say we expect, but now that we are reassured, I mean, Beerus just literally stomps Vegeta into the ground, and Vegeta is just completely powerless as he's getting obliterated here. And Beerus keeps talking, and he says that as long as you're trapped by the past, you'll never manage to grow past this point. And then we get to see something slightly out of any realm of what we were expecting, and that is Beerus grabs Vegeta by the arm, sticks out his right hand right into Vegeta's chest, and then he just Hakai's him, or destruction. But he Hakai's Vegeta's chest, uses just a small amount of it to destroy the armor in which Vegeta is destroying without actually destroying him. And Goku remarks about that he tried to use the Hakai the one time against Zamasu back in the day, and Whis says that it's still much power, even though he tweaked it so that he only used a little bit. It's not easily mastered. And Beerus says, if Vegeta, my mind is always on destruction and nothing else. That's why there's no limit to my power. Listen, if you really want this power, you're going to have to destroy any stray thoughts and recreate yourself from scratch. Before creation comes destruction, which was a line in which Beerus has said in the past. And then Vegeta just kind of, I don't know if he has a realization or if he understands or whatnot, but that's the last panel of that section. So pretty interesting stuff, and we'll dive into that a little bit more here. Section 3 just shows the heaters. They're looking through the files of 7-3, and they see when the Galactic Patrol was over at Zuno's palace, whenever Moro's goons, before they went to jail, they tried to get all the information at Zuno's palace. And Beerus was there, rounded them up, helped put them in jail. And they find out that as they're diving into more of Moro's, not Moro, of 7-3's data, they learn of Moro using the Dragon Ball to free the Galactic Patrol, wishing to regain his magic powers. And then the Heaters start piecing together that these Dragon Balls are probably what is, made all of the stuff in the universe, happen. So Frieza's resurrection, Moro's insurrection, and all of that other fun jazz. So now that they know that the Dragon Balls exist, now they are interested in them, and they realize that it's the Namekians that created them. And this is where their section gets extremely interesting because we learn that the Namekians did not originate from the original planet Namek. They came from somewhere else, and clans of Namekians settled all around the universe. And so we all know about Namek, but apparently there were some other ones. And lo and behold, there is one Namekian who lives with Granolah on his planet. And that guy's name is actually trying to find his name real quick. It's like Makayo or something like that. And so with that, then we can see that the Heaters are going to be very interested in Namekians and Dragon Balls. So they're going to go and visit Granolah. Well, final section, section 4. Granolah arrives back home, and he see and there he is, the Namekian Kyle. And again, probably butchering that name there, but they're discussing how Granolah's day is and how he's doing and all that stuff. And Granolah talks about Frieza, and Makayo's like, you can't fight with Frieza. You don't have the power to do that. And Granolah just sits there, just pissed off that he can't fight Frieza. He'll just get stomped. And he looks over at his bookshelf, little shelf area, and there is a 1-star Dragon Ball. And apparently, Makayo here created a set of Dragon Balls. Now, there's only 2 Dragon Balls with this set, not the standard 5 or 7 that we've seen from Earth, Namek, the Super Dragon Balls, the GT, whatever it might be. But this set has just 2. And they start diving into the history of the Namekian race, that they came to the universe, settled on planets, made their Dragon Balls. Any Namekian anywhere can create a Dragon Ball set, and people on New Namek, it flashes over to them because the elders there are teaching the youth about the Dragon Balls and just their history. And they talk about that there could be Namekians all scattered throughout the universe, but who knows, they might have died off. maybe ages ago. But yeah. So then it goes back to Granolah, and he's talking about the Dragon Ball and said, he wants to make a wish, um, and, and for revenge. And Mikhail's like, no, you don't wish for selfish things. The Dragon Balls were to reward warriors of the past, you know, to like heal a planet or bring back a civilization who might have been murdered unjustly, whatever it might be. The kind of the righteous things. It's not supposed to be used for selfish things or for revenge purposes. And he tells him, go to bed. You can't make a wish anyways because we don't know where the second Dragon Ball was. It was lost in um, it was lost in the attack by Frieza and them, so it could be anywhere on the planet, and no dragon radar apparently. If they knew about that, this arc would probably have been accelerated a lot quicker, but it's cool. Um, and so they go to bed. Granolah stays up though; he's just watching TV, and a news break comes across, and it's the Sugarians news network. They state that a little child of theirs has found the two-star Dragon Ball, even though they have no idea what it is. But Granolah knows what it is. They just know that it's kind of out of this world. They're going to take it to their science team and they're going to study it. And Granolah sneaks out and he steals it. And he brings it back and he summons the dragon and he's told on his earpiece with oatmeal, like, are you going to ignore the old man's warnings? And he says, no, I got a plan. Don't worry, it'll be all right. So he summons the dragon. Dragon can understand his native language, which of course is English because that's how all these people talk. And we see the dragon, the dragon of the two-star Dragon Balls here, and he's kind of sweet looking. Kind of looks like I don't know, just a lizard. Like you gotta look at it. It's pretty cool. And Granolah kind of stunned to see this dragon. And the dragon says, you've collected 2 Dragon Balls, state your wish. If it's within my power, your single wish is my command. So apparently he will only grant a single wish as long as it's within his power. And Granola's wish to end the chapter is he says to himself, I want to be the strongest. Turn me into the greatest warrior in the universe. And then we see the dragon. He hasn't responded yet. And then the chapter ends. Next chapter hits March 19th. So that's the chapter summary. So let's hop back here and we'll dive into it. But let's start back to that first section here. Martin, this is the section about Granolah returning back from the Sugarian or the planet cereal with the Sugarians. Learn about a little bit of the history of Granolah and the planet, and didn't really see much in this section other than just world building. Nothing of true interest, right?
Yeah, I agree. Also, it really looks like when he's not working, the man lives like a normal life.
Yeah.
Like he's going to the store, picking up water and things like that. And when the planet was named Planet Cereal, I'm like, okay, so this is going to be really the breakfast saga. So that means soon we're going to have someone named Eggs and Pancakes and sausage because we have granola and cereal and like,
Yep.
it's really looking like the breakfast saga. And it looks like outside of hating Freeze and all that, he seems relatively friendly with the people on this planet. Like it's gonna be hard to really paint him as a bad guy.
Yeah, that's like I'm trying to sit here for like the past month and try to dissect some stuff. I mean, the Heaters, they're bad guys. So I mean, you can just look at their drawing. They're geared up to be bad guys. But um like Granolah here, he has to be an antagonist just by its definition, he goes against the protagonist, which is Goku and Vegeta. He's going to fight them, and he's going to want revenge. He's going to want to kill the Saiyans. But yeah, I just can't paint him as like what you said. I can't paint him as a bad guy, especially whenever he's going to charge Frieza. He's going to charge right after Frieza. If this wish comes true at the end and he gets real strong, chapter 71, we'll see Granolah and Frieza like face to face.
Yeah, it's almost the same thing of like the Tournament of Power where Jiren wasn't the bad guy, he was just the final boss. But you understand where everyone in the Tournament of Power was coming from. They were fighting for survival. So Jiren was the strongest person there, so he was the final obstacle, which quote unquote the bad guy, but he wasn't really bad at all. And I agree, man. Shoot. We'll talk about that wish later, but if it does happen, if I was him, I'd go right after Frieza too. I mean, Frieza is a bad guy.
Yeah.
Like he shouldn't even be around.
Nope. Agreed. So we'll see about that. But yeah, I did like this section though, just that it's more world building, right?
Yeah.
And it's just expanding the universe more, which with the Moro arc, they were doing that a little bit more. So just expanding how Vegeta was training on Yardrat, Goku was with Beerus, Sea Fighters on planet Earth, and a little bit of new Namek too. So it was nice. And now they're taking another step and showing us another corner of the universe, which I'd say these past 2 or 3 chapters have been really geared towards not necessarily directed at Goku and Vegeta as much. So it's pretty nice. I like this change of pace and getting new elements created for the story. So I like it.
I agreed. The next part of this was the Vegeta and Beerus conversation. And to be honest, the way that Beerus was talking, like Vegeta, like holding the weight of the Saiyans' history and like their sins and all that. I didn't think that Vegeta really held all the Saiyans' faults on his own person throughout the series. Did you?
No. Vegeta's he's never expressed what the Saiyans did was wrong. I mean, he's always held the pride of, and he has Saiyan pride. So it's like, if you have Saiyan pride, then you shouldn't be ashamed of what you did.
Mm-hmm.
And he's always talked about, that pride all throughout Super. So it's not like they just forgot about this, but it's I don't know if they're stretching it by making it feel like Vegeta is guilty or feeling guilty about what his people did. I almost think that he should just be thinking that, what happened, but it's not how it's being portrayed is that he's been just lingering on it for too long because he doesn't blame Frieza for it. And he says that in his pursuit for power, my father built his own kingdom on top of countless deaths. And, so yeah, I don't necessarily just buy it yet because it wasn't established in the past or even hinted at. Vegeta felt any sort of remorse, but I mean, maybe he has but it's all off the pages, off screen. When Vegeta saved the Namekian or tried to save the Namekians from Moro, and he said, "I owe these people." You could see that as well, we all saw that as character development from Vegeta's point of view. So it's like maybe at that point, maybe this feeling of this weight of sin has been on his shoulders. But yeah, it's kind of a stretch. But
yeah, and then Beerus is talking, and then Vegeta's asking the same questions I'm asking, like, what does this have to do with him gaining a new power? Then Beerus demonstrated to destroy a planet with a finger. And, Goku said, well, Lord Beerus is not something to mess with. And then, like you said, that he just grabbed Vegeta by his face and like threw him down like out of nowhere and was just tossing him around. And then, like you said, because this point was one of these points that we've talked about, that Dragon Ball would just forget randomly or be idiots, like in Goku Black, where Goku tells Vegeta he's never kissed Chi Chi, which is an obvious lie because we've seen them kiss in Dragon Ball Z. So I thought it was super stupid like that. But when Beerus admitted, because he did it in F movie, that he was the one who told Frieza to really get rid of the sands, and he told Vegeta, which, like you said, we were surprised he did. Vegeta powers up from the picture because it's not animated. It just looks like he went regular Super Saiyan Blue. Did you think he just went regular? Or do you think he went all out to Super Saiyan Blue Evolve?
I think he just went Super Saiyan Blue. I don't think he did evolve. Yeah,
not that it would make that big a difference. I was just like, if you're about to charge Beerus, you might as well just go all the way out.
Yeah. I don't think he went all out. Yeah, it's Beerus's training methods are interesting, let's say, nonetheless, but he hasn't trained too many people, so I guess his method is just to piss people off and to try to teach them through anger. Um, but that's what he's trying to get through to Vegeta, is that Vegeta can't have these, he can't linger on this stuff. He can't linger on what the Saiyans did, or he can't linger on what apparently he did, and that's why he just stomps him in this fight. And It seems like Beerus is just trying to teach him how to be a destroyer, and people have talked about, is Vegeta going to be a god of destruction after Beerus? It's kind of always been teased, like, will Goku do that? Will Goku be the next god of destruction? Goku will never be a god of destruction. He's never going to want to destroy anything, even if it's for a cycle of life. Now Vegeta could, but it seems like what Beerus is trying to get to Vegeta, if you want to wield my, powers of destruction here, you have to let go of this sense of morality. What you do is what you do. It's not right or wrong whether you destroy the planet. What it is just, it's just the way of life. That's how I'm looking at it right now, is what he's trying to teach Vegeta, all the while stomping him into the ground. Literally, there's a panel in which Vegeta tries to, just downward swing Beerus into the ground. Beerus just shoots up to the sky and then comes crashing down on his back with his feet.
Yeah, on my iPad, that's a page 22. I was also going to bring up page 23, the page right after that. In the bottom left corner, where Beerus is casually dodging, I'm like, is he using a UI right there?
I don't
just know. It looks like UI dodges.
Yep. I think this is just strictly just Beerus is just faster, stronger, and anyone who's, wondering how strong Beerus is compared to Goku and Vegeta, minus Ultra Instinct. That is just, just Beerus is not someone that you can just like make a bet against, right? So Beerus can easily stomp Vegeta here, and because he's really stomping him, I can't, and we know there's different, tiers or different levels of Ultra Instinct, or being precise with your movements. This fight kind of gives me a slight edge to say Beerus would still stomp Goku.
I do actually want to talk about that. It's brought the stomping. And let's not forget, this is a Vegeta past the Tournament of Power, just finished the Moro arc. And when he came back with Force Spirit Fission, you could say that he was stronger than UI Omen Goku. Not Master, but UI Omen. Does that sound fair? Close? Because, I mean, Goku surpassed him. Yeah. He just had the better techniques to go against Moro than Omen. Omen wasn't good enough to.
Correct. Yep.
but of course. So all of that, and Beerus still destroyed the guy. Literally, could have Hakai'd him out of existence because he grabbed him and showed his control of his power. So the people who have been saying that, oh, Goku's like surpassed Beerus since like the Tournament of Power, I still want to know, like, what's your proof? Because Goku went mastered UI, but like still going at him. Jiren could have still probably have beat him if Jiren didn't attack his damn friends. So
yep. And I'm not convinced that Jiren's stronger than Beerus.
Me either. Not yet. I mean, I had to see it, man. Like when Moro was UI getting Beerus's powers, and Beerus is like, all right, I need to step in. And I was like, oh. Like he just casually was like, oh, I'm about to step in. I'm about to end this. But I do like the lessons and stuff that Beerus was saying. Just the tactics were just like, I don't know about my mind's always on destruction because you are eating. And I don't know about that there's no limit to my power. But the line I really liked is like, if you really want to grow, you got to destroy your stray thoughts and recreate yourself. I see it as Vegeta needs to reinvent like he did arc learning technique. So I do like that. I don't know how he's going to learn this power. So it's looking like we thought it was going to be a different power, but it's really looking like the same stuff Toppo had, which I don't know how much that's going to amplify Vegeta, because Vegeta, that Super Saiyan Blue evolved before Moro, he beat Toppo. So I don't know how much this power is going to amplify him.
Well, I think we'll have to revisit this after we talk about the Granola's wish, because I mean, depending on the wish, these powers that Vegeta is about to learn might be their only way of winning. So, but
I have some things I want to say on that wish too. But you also brought up the thing with the training, and Beerus has a funny way of doing this. I would say I don't even think this was that bad to compare to first time trainer Piccolo with Kid Gohan.
Oh yeah, that was terrible. He abandoned a kid to fight Gundam. Well, again, I'm referencing anime.
Training was, so we've seen worser training.
Yeah, I do think that this training that Beerus is doing with Vegeta fits their upcoming, relationship or partner. Because like Goku, think about it, like Goku's personality. He's the kind of guy who he'll teach you, he'll educate you, he's not one just pulverize you. This is not him, which then fits with what Whis' like mindset is, mentality. Vegeta's always been a guy who's been by himself. He's been isolated, and his training methods, they're just brutal as hell. So then here comes Beerus, who is a complete jerk and just beats the pulp out of him, and it's not it it is the literally okay, you're bleeding, rub dirt in it kind of. I mean, in that training method, it resembles Vegeta better. So there's like some contrast to their mentors training them based off of their personalities in the past, which I kind of enjoy, because there's no way that really Vegeta likes Whis' teaching style, and I don't think Goku would truly like Beerus' style. So,
but I would say with the Whis' style, going back to Resurrection F, and Whis was telling them each other the weaknesses and how Vegeta is always uptight and whatnot, could that be the same correlated to what Beerus just said about like he needs to let go of the past and like recreate himself?
That's a good point. I think both of those points would have to relate, and I think they do. I mean, Vegeta's always uptight. He's always on the defensive, but he's always been a lone wolf. His race has been killed. It's fight for survival. So he's not like a chilled, laid back history like Goku has. I mean, Goku had struggles, and he always overcame them, but he always lived a good life, in between.
And there was another. there's another thing too, with like I've been seeing people saying, "Oh, Vegeta's going to become a god of destruction and like Goku to be the angel." I'm gonna say it right now. There's no way that is happening because of Vegeta's personality, then for the rest of his existence, he has to admit that Goku's strong. Because the angel is always stronger than God, typically, from what we've seen.
I don't think we'll ever see God of Destruction Vegeta. I think he's just going to learn the powers.
Yeah.
And for someone for those people that say or Goku may be an angel, then you would imply then that the angels were mortals to begin with, and that they converted or something. I don't know. They transcended to angelhood, whatever it might be, which kind of seems bullshit to think that Whis would have been immortal beforehand.
Correct. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff on that. We'll probably revisit a little bit, but then the next part were the heaters, which after all the breakfast things, I'm sad they're not called like the Pop Tarts or like the crispy, like the Rice Krispie treat group or something like that. They're getting the info from OG73, and they're seeing Beerus and Moro, and they're learning about the Dragonballs, and they're like, "Oh, Namekians, blah blah blah," and there's a Namekian on this planet, which outside of Namek and Earth, we didn't know there were other Namekians on anywhere else. But I'm also kind of curious why, maybe just because of space, why they didn't show fight of what OG73 saw, because they're going to be fighting these people, so you would think those fights got like recorded, so they know what they're dealing
with.
Like,
they should be scouting out to see who the hell Moro fought, because I mean, if they know that Moro and lost to, if they know Moro is strong as hell, then they should be watching a film as to who potentially could have beaten them, because after, I mean, 7-3 would not have seen Goku and Vegeta. Wait, I'm trying to remember. Right? 7-3 did not fight Goku or Vegeta, correct?
Didn't know, because when Goku came to save,
did he take Vegeta's powers?
I don't think he took Vegeta. Well, Moro did, but remember, Goku fought 7-3 and that one guy before he fought Moro when he first came back to Earth.
Yeah, 7-3 would have only seen when Gohan and Piccolo fought, because they were doing their tag team, because 7-3 had to swap between person to person's stored powers. He couldn't use them at the same time.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to recall, when did 7-3 use Moro's powers? Did who defeated when Moro was when he arrived at Earth? He was up in the sky, like sitting on the ship with that henchman guy. I honestly cannot remember. See, that's what happens whenever you run an arc for 2 years. Like,
honestly, because Gohan and Piccolo, I thought they beat him.
I thought they did too, but
yeah, they beat him. I remember that they beat him.
Yeah.
And then Moro, And
then Moro just, he super powered the one dude. Then he beat up everyone there until Goku arrived. Yeah. So 7-3 should technically only know of Goku or Gohan and Piccolo, unless he was actually observing Goku with Omen UI and Vegeta with his Force Spirit Vision. But that's it. He should not know. He should not know of Mastered Ultra Instinct unless he was able to record while he was absorbed by Moro, which doesn't appear so.
So I would also say with that too, which I don't know if this could lead into them going to Earth, because if they only did see Gohan and Piccolo, they'll see a Namekian and they're like, "Oh, there's a Namekian, let's go pay him a visit." That could be the way they get to Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I don't know if they'd be able to tell by Gohan's appearance if he's a Saiyan. Probably not. But if the slight, well, this is Toriyama, so if they could write it, they're like, oh, he has the eyes of a Saiyan. Saiyans still live, and Granolah hates Saiyans too, so that might be his way to Earth too. But they're finding all that stuff out. Then 7-3's talking to the Namekian there, who he's, I guess, roommates with or whatever he's doing, or taking care of him like a home health aide. And he sees the Dragon Ball, and he's talking about making a wish, and he gives us spiel about it's not for revenge, yeah, which you've already went over. And then I think this is the biggest crop out, that he's just really chilling, watching late night TV, maybe like their version of like up late at night watching like George Lopez,
Jimmy Kimmel,
or Jimmy, yeah, like just chilling. And randomly, the day he's talking about it, some little kid finds the other Dragon Ball.
Oh, that's
and tells it where it's placed. I was at least expecting like maybe a chapter or two of him like scouring the place looking for it, but that was just quick and coincidental. Yep. Or as the screenwrite thing says, what is it? Barely an inconvenience.
Yeah. I mean, even they only, the funny thing is when he stole the Dragon Ball from the research facility, they only gave him 2 pages, you know?
Yeah.
He snuck into the city, he grabbed the ball, he ran, sirens went off, and he was back at home. Like, we only got 2 pages of it. They just accelerated that process so fast it's kind of stupid.
One of my favorite things that page, on page 41, bottom left, was the little people, the police. Like, I don't know why. That little screen thing has been making me laugh, because it's like, oh, we got to find him. Like, you ain't finding him, man.
It's just okay, page starting from 40 or 38 all the way to the beginning of 40, the end of 41. It's kind of stupid because he's watching TV. He sees a 2-star ball. He finds out it's at research. He hops around buildings, and the thing is he's concealing his identity as he steals this ball, which you don't even see him steal it. He just sees it in the little glass case, and then he rushes off. And then before we know it, he's summoning the dragon.
And also, like, how far away is his house from this place? Because from all the dragons that we have seen, the sky gets black, and if you look up, you see a big dragon. So couldn't these people look up and see a big dragon, like, oh, whoever summoned the dragon's over there, let's go find out who it is?
Yeah, you would think. But I do laugh that there's only 2 Dragon Balls.
I personally have a problem with that, because if this guy, if he's the one who made these, and it only takes 2 Dragon Balls to call out a dragon, and he's getting 1 wish, apparently. How strong is this old Namekian?
I find it. I want to know why only 2, both from a writer's perspective and from the actual lore of Dragon Ball. Why is there only 2? Personally, I think the writer, I think Toriyama, I think they got sick and tired of 7. Like they got tired of watching these guys roam around and having to draw photos of these guys searching for 7 freaking balls, and they were just like, let's just do 2. Whatever.
Are you mad that there's a whole other dragon? Like they're just gonna keep popping up in Universe 7 now?
At this moment, I'm not. I kind of was at the beginning, but then whenever they gave me the backstory of Namekians, they could be anywhere creating their own Dragon Balls, because I mean
that's true.
That's what Earth is. I mean, Earth is not a home for Namekians, but we have our own set. So if when the Great Drought, if they had said this, when the nameless Namekian left planet Namek during the Great Drought or storm, Great Drought, and came to Earth, like, well, what would ever have really stopped anybody from leaving the planet and going and colonizing on another planet and creating their own Dragon Ball. So I'm fine with that. I think their story is kind of weird though that the Namekians apparently came to the universe from a different dimension altogether. I think that was the wording in which was it said. So, like, let me dissect on that. What does that mean? Do they come from Universe 6?
I don't see. I was going to bring up Universe 6. I don't think that'd be possible because of the way they wrote Universe 6. Because Choppa didn't even know what Dragon Balls were until Beerus and all them, right? Because that's the way they wrote it.
Yeah.
And he has Namekians in his own universe. Just like they didn't know what a Super Saiyan was, even though they have more Saiyans, definitely believe they have more Saiyans alive than Universe 7 does. So if you have all these Namekians and could they not make Dragon Balls? Did they do a trade-off where they can't make Dragon Balls, but they're the Namekians who showed that you could absorb your whole freaking race to get stronger?
Yeah. It's something. It's something. So yeah, I'm fine with this set of Dragon Balls on Planet Cereal here. I still don't understand why it's just 2 balls. All right, but I'll digress on that topic. So the next thing I want to ask is, so we've always been told that a dragon can only fulfill the wish or make a wish within the powers of the Namekian that created them, right?
Yeah.
So if I remember some of the stuff correctly, Kami's Dragon Balls, you couldn't just wish to kill someone, because that was just out of the powers of those Dragon Balls. You could only bring back someone once. Purunga could bring back people, multiple times, whatever it might be. And but I'm looking at this guy, this Namekian, which his name was I saw it again, sorry. Yeah. Manado?
Mm-hmm.
It's on page 30, bottom right corner. And he doesn't look like he's going to just start. This Namekian does not look like Dale. He doesn't come across as being a strong fighter. So I'm not really thinking that his Dragon Balls are going to be super powerful, especially since there's 2. But the thing here is that, this wish, Granolah is making a wish to be the strongest warrior in the universe. And I'm thinking to myself, if this wish comes true, then that Namekian has to be a badass. If we're staying consistent.
Yeah, I have with the wish, him just saying, I want to be the strongest in the universe. It really makes me go back to I was actually just watching these clips earlier in the week where they're on Namek, and the goal was to get the Dragon Balls to wish for immortality. That was Vegeta's goal. Yep. That was Frieza's goal. Shoot, I was watching Dead Zone, Garlic Jr. wishing being immortal. That was the goal back in the original Dragon Ball Z. So if you could just wish that you could be the strongest, and we'll have to wait a whole month to find out if it's true or not. I think that goes to the bigger issue that you spoke about earlier in the week, that this is how we're going to get people stronger than Goku and Vegeta. Because we went the Jiren route, we went the Moro route. Now we're just going to have random people, finding Dragon Ball for them to be the strongest. Because now that you've opened this door, there's no reason why no other bad guy going forward could do the same thing.
Yeah. This is how they have to, and it's kind of what they have to do. This is how they dig themselves out of the hole that they had been digging for years, and that is Vegeta and Goku. They're the only ones that are really relevant, and they get really super strong, and their enemies just get real strong, and it's eventually just a fist fight who could punch harder. And we reached the top of that peak with Jiren, literally just a guy that One Punch Man kind of dude, just trained a lot and got really freaking strong. And then they sort of changed that up with Moro with his magic. It still kind of seemed like, it was like who could punch harder at the end there, but then Moro's magic becoming one with the Earth made it interesting. And now we have Granolah here, who is he's weak in relevance to everyone else around him, but now he's actually using the Dragon Balls to get strong. So it's kind of what they have to do. But like what you said, now everybody can do this, which I imagine the Heaters are probably going to do this because I can't see them even stand a chance against Goku, Vegeta, or Frieza. So they have to get strong too. And so yeah, like what you said, we have to wait until March 19th for this next chapter. And a couple things that I'm thinking about still with this wish is the wording of the wish. I want to be the strongest. Turn me into the greatest warrior in the universe. I want to know that dragon is going to then compare every strong person in the universe. It will make a determination as to who is the strongest, and then it will make Granolah stronger than that individual. So let's run through the candidates. Is he going to make him stronger than Broly? Okay, with this wish.
Well, I would, before we even go to Broly, let's just get the BS out of the way because we already know people are going to talk about it. The strongest person in Universe 7 is Whis.
Correct.
So they're going to make him stronger than Whis.
Yeah. So if you are if you are a dragon with the power to make a mortal stronger than an angel,
we have a problem.
We have a major problem.
Yeah,
both
we got a big problem.
Yeah, both as an element of the story, like the plot itself, like, the protagonist, they're going to be like, oh shit, how the hell do we handle any of this? But then, do you have a problem with it as a reader? Like, what are the writers doing?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a huge, huge problem. I'm hoping that the dragon says, I can only make you stronger than the strongest mortal in the universe. Then we go back to what you were about to
say. If he says that, strongest mortal, does that include mortals who have divine energy?
And that's a good point because there's two to our knowledge right now who do.
Not Broly and Frieza, though.
Not Broly, cool. Yeah.
Now, here, let me play with your mind here. If we find out who this dragon uses as the bar, we can draw so many conclusions, or we can debate, like, is this dragon full of shit? So let's remove Vegeta and Goku out of the equation here, and we're just looking at power levels as they stand right now. It has to be who is stronger, Broly or Frieza. Well, we watched a movie and saw Frieza get stomped by legendary Super Saiyan Broly. So then Broly has to be the strongest. But if they don't use Broly as that bar, then there has to be another mortal that's stronger in the universe.
That thing is, even if it's just Broly, that's still a problem because you had to. I know it was post Tournament of Power, so it wasn't that they got stronger than more arc, but they had to fuse to make Gogeta blue to beat that dude. So if he at least, let's just say he gets to legendary Super Saiyan Broly level, and then like he trains or whatever, that could still be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do have the divine, I think, because it's the points you're making are really good. I didn't even think about those points. My only point that I was thinking about this is that the strongest warrior at the point of the wish. So let's just say it is Master UI Goku at the point of the wish. So if he makes this wish now and he becomes stronger than UI Goku when they fought Moro, but Goku and them trained, does that wish always just like restarts? Like, oh, I need to be stronger. So like it really just happens. Like this is some weird stuff that's about to happen.
I'm trying to think of other technicalities. So So Goku and Vegeta are on Beerus's planet right now. Is that planet in Universe 7 or is it outside of Universe 7? You know what I mean?
I would
Like
have to
like
think that.
where the Tournament of Power was held, or not the tournament. Well, yeah, actually the Tournament of Power, but then like, the Zen exhibition match, that was in a void between the universes.
It says right now, location of Beerus's planet is Universe 7.
Is Universe 7, then yeah, they would have to take into account that, which now um now this is where I'm trying to think of, like, back to what we were originally discussing and then having to wait until we got to Swish. If Granolah here becomes stronger than, MUI Goku, Whis, whoever it might be, like Vegeta's going to be the one that has to get rid of him, and he's going to Hakai him because Hakaiing him is going to be the only way to get rid of him, because Hakaiing almost got rid of a Zamasu who was an immortal. If Zamasu didn't have quick thinking and drag Mai through that portal to protect themselves and make Goku, give up there, um, I mean, that arc would have been done chapters earlier.
So, yeah. So, worst case, he's stronger than Whis, which we haven't even seen what Whis can do. We've just seen him. We saw him blocking Moro's punches with the finger and him embarrassing Master UI Goku in the first chapter of this arc. So to even think about what that would look like is just absurd, because you're right to Hakai him, but does he get the, like, if you're just are you making him physically stronger, like body durability, or do you get abilities to match? Like, is this dude about to just wake up with MUI perfected level 5?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost going back, like I said earlier, to the old school Dragon Ball. They're just trying to get the balls to wish for immortality. But for this, I think Granolah is the first villain to actually get the Dragon Balls and do it, besides Frieza's henchmen that used him to wish him back.
The funny thing, when you were talking about, everyone used to wish for immortality. That was a go-to wish back in the day. You remember during the Broly movie, Frieza realized that was not smart, and I think his reasoning was exactly like, what's the point in being immortal if you're not the strongest?
Oh, I lied. Zamasu wished for that. I'm sorry, I forgot. Zamasu wished for immortality too.
But he wasn't the strongest there. He just got
no.
So now here's Granolah just wishing for a power up. Now, here's the thing that if Granolah ends up being stronger than Beerus or Whis, and I'm going to set Beerus as the bar, then this dragon is the strongest dragon amongst the non-Super Dragon Ball dragons. Because when Beerus first showed up, and again, I'm referencing, Battle of Gods. When Beerus first showed up, Shenron was scared shitless. And so therefore, I would think that Shenron being scared of Beerus would indicate that Shenron knows that he could be destroyed instantly by Beerus and therefore weaker. So I would imagine then his powers could not make a person who's making a wish stronger than Beerus. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So,
no, I agree.
So if Shenron couldn't make someone stronger than Beerus, I'm just going to just say Purunga couldn't do it. But this dragon can. I don't know what to think. I don't know if I should be like, that's bullshit. I don't know if I need to think of Makayo here as, the god of or Namekians. Like, I don't know. Like, in two Dragon Balls, I feel like two Dragon Balls should not have the same strength as 7.
No, I agree. I was just actually thinking for more Granolah's character arc and maybe his descent into darkness, is that after he makes this wish, let's say the dragon's like, that's the last wish I can make because the person I'm connected to, that was like the last of like their, I don't know, Dragon Ball Namekian force. And then he dies. Like, that would be some crazy stuff if he dies after this wish. And then Granolah starts feeling bad about himself.
Yeah. That would actually I actually would enjoy that. Not obviously not the death of like an innocent bystander, but in terms of a storyline, I think that'd be pretty cool. Like, I've never thought of that until you actually mentioned it. But like, the reason why the Shadow Dragon arc was such a great idea is what we've always said. It gave the Dragon Balls a negative consequence of being used. But the thing is that while the Shadow Dragons, every time you made a wish, it gained negative energy in the balls. Enough negative energy, you got new villains. I've never considered that the Dragon Balls should drain the life of its user or its creator. So anytime you used it, you would be indirectly killing Kami, um, Lord Guru, like.
Well, didn't Guru die didn't when he died the Dragon Balls went to stone?
They did. They did. Yep. When he died because of the broken heart of all the suffering of his people at the hands of Frieza, he died in the middle of them making that third final wish.
Yep, because they wished for Piccolo to come back to life, and they wished for him to come to Namek, and then he died of so that's true. We've already seen it canonically that if the person we've seen it obviously when Piccolo back in the day when Piccolo was the most important person outside of Goku. When he died, Tommy died, Dragon Balls died. So if this wish drains his energy and he dies, then shoot.
And the thing is they could gear that up for these Dragon Balls to kill Makaio here because they've talked about how old he is, and that he can't get around, and maybe that he's weaker than other Namekians, at least at this point in his life. And the reason why Guru was able to stay alive was because he was strong until he lost the will to live because of Frieza. Tommy was always strong enough to withstand the impact of what making a wish would do to his body. I'd be all open for that. I think that would be a great story element for the Dragon Balls to give them a negative connotation as to why you should not use them, because you'll kill the creator of them.
And speaking of Namekians, you actually brought up something that you wanted to bring up on the podcast of what they should do now since we're having all these sets of Dragon Balls.
So one of the arcs, the ideas of an arc that I had wanted was I really want Piccolo back in the fray, right? A great character. He was always really, really strong, and he was always an important part of the story. And then the Saiyans just kind of, ruined it for him. And I would enjoy seeing an arc in which Piccolo somehow gains divine power, like his own, whatever the Namekian god is. And I mean, if these Namekians are harvesting Dragon Balls from the Super Dragon Balls, and this new dragon is able to make a wish to make Granolah the strongest in the universe, then it's like the Namekians have the ability of, someone in their race being almighty and all powerful. And I think what would make it more plausible to get Piccolo involved is if there was an evil Namekian. Yes, we had Lord Slug in the movie. We've seen evil Namekians before, but like we've never seen an evil Namekian that is like shoot, like in terms of where we are in power levels right now. we've never seen someone like super strong. No one's stronger than, like Raditz or whatever the power level of Lord Slug was, and I feel like that would be interesting. You have an evil Namekian creating an evil set of Dragon Balls, and whatever those wishes are, maybe those Dragon Balls can kill someone, or just any other like malintent. It's like that's what I wanted. I don't know if we're going to get that, just since we've had back-to-back arcs here that have involved the Namekians a little bit more than what we've had in years. So, but yeah, that's just a wishful arc. Just wanted to hear what your thoughts on it, or if you had any tweaks, or do you have an arc that you would love to see? Any ideas?
Yeah, I think Evil Namekian arc would be really cool for the fact that it would have to get Piccolo back in the game because he wouldn't want evil Namekians. And I think an evil Namekian arc with the Dragon Ball power gives Super's writers time, because I mean, sooner or later, like we've said it multiple times on this about the Murno fan manga, that's actually going to be coming soon. Like that's the only logical step, because the way they keep powering up these people that they have left, that they're fighting rogue angels. So you could save some time on that. They having fighting rogue Namekians, especially like, let's say we still don't know who the Namekian is connected to the Super Dragon Balls, which can reverse Xeno's racing. Let's say they fought someone like him. That can give them time before they have to fight rogue angels.
Yep. I mean, you're right. It would be another arc before this holy war that is coming. I still think they're going to dive into what the other universes are doing, since we don't know what's going on in Universe 1 and 12, and I forget what universe we haven't seen. What was the other universe that wasn't involved in the Tournament of Power? Or was there 2 universes? Like Universe 8? No.
I don't remember. I thought there was 4. So I remember there was 4 gods who stood up for Goku.
Yeah, I think it was 1. I think it was 1, 12, and then like 8 and 5. I think those universes were not in the Tournament of Power, because 9 was the elephant, god of destruction. 10 was no. What was 9? 9 was the wolves.
9 was wolves. It was the one
10
who
was
tried to recruit Frieza.
Yep, correct. 10 was the elephant. We know Jiren and all them in the 11th. Oh yeah, 10 was Zamasu's bullshit. 3 was 2 was the love birds, the whole universe of love.
Yeah.
3 was the scientists and the robots. 4 was the rat.
Yep.
And then we know 6, 7. Yeah, it was 1, 5, 8, and 12. Yep. So I mean, we haven't seen those universes yet, so I think there has to be arcs involved with them. And then after those, then I think we'll get the Holy War, and that's what I'm just going to keep calling it, Rogue Angels, because you have to introduce all of the angels and all of the universes and their gods of destruction, because when these rogue angels from either those universes or the angels that were part of the erased universes of 13 through 18 come back, I mean, they need somebody to beat the hell out of before they get to 7 and the Grand Priest. So
I mean, there's a lot to look forward to, and with the Wish, we're really going to be waiting for when things start dropping next month about the dragon saying, "Oh, this wish is within my power." That we're gonna be like, "Okay, this Namekian's super strong, or I can only make you strong to this extent." So we're really gonna have to wait and see on that. Mitch, anything else you want to add, talk about this chapter? Anything we missed on?
Something very minor. When you were talking about the heaters and that you thought their name would be like, off-brand cereal or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I did read a thing that the reason why they're called the heaters is like the names of the four people in their gang have to deal with some sort of like fuel source or like electricity. So you have um, there's elect, then there's oil, and there's two other names, and I can't remember them, but they were like one was like Japanese for like firewood or something like that, and the other one I can't remember. So I guess that's where their names derive from. But I had read that it was kind of interesting. The reason why they're called the Heaters is because they're a faction that goes up against Frieza. So Frieza is named after cold stuff. Heaters are, hot. So that's where their names apparently are being derived from. So
that is actually a very cool point. I did not know that. Only thing I also wanted to just say real quick, since it's the only Dragon Ball anime we have going out, Dragon Ball Super Heroes is coming out on the 25th of February, episode 11. So that's something to watch for 7 to 9 minutes.
Yep. So we'll see. It looks like Hearts is coming back, so we'll wonder if he's going to be sweet. He had a really cool moment, and then he got beat up by Gogeta.
Yeah.
Didn't make sense, but okay. That's cool.
Yeah, but with Heroes, it never makes sense. It's literally just there to give us some sort of anime.
Yeah, that is true.
Because, we're about to enter March, and, it'll be 3 years in March. By the time we're recording, it might be the 3-year anniversary when Super ended.
Yeah, that is true. That was about 2018. Yep, because we were still living in the apartment together. So newsflash for all the listeners: Martin and I used to live together in an apartment. So we used to watch Super anime whenever it came out in Japanese subs when college football was playing. Kind of funny, but anyways.
Yep. I mean, those were the days where Super being out of anime put a lot of people out of business. Sand TV on Facebook always had the episodes live when they were happening, and people got us watching. So, yeah, 3 years. Probably have to do a little bit on that next month. But yeah, man, that's all I had on this chapter and where we're going. I think we hit a lot of different points, especially on the wording of this wish. So, if you have any shout outs or anything like that, so we could wrap it up.
Nope, just a couple things. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, do all your stuff to support the channel on however you listen to us. Show some love to the other members of the L7C. Go and give Cedric, Byron, Evan, my boy Jacob. He's always trying to get them views. But listen to some of the newcomers who we've had on the L7C. Chelsea Hubbard has a podcast regarding the documentary of Britney Spears. Give that a listen. I know if you're listening about Dragon Ball, maybe or maybe not, that's your cup of tea, but very informative, and you'll know what people are talking about whenever you ever hear it brought up. And knowledge is power. That's what the heaters are talking about in Super. So what? Go give it a check, and hopefully we got some new guests about to come on up. So you're just gonna have to tune in and see. And thanks for tuning in and listening. Appreciate it, and we'll check out again next month.
Yeah, I really don't have anything much to add to that except check the new people as well. Like Chelsea Hepper came on, Andrea Annalise came on. So if you're into anime and you're looking from women's perspective, she'll have you covered. She's reviewing when season 5 of My Hero Academia starts in March. So she'll be reviewing with me. We're gonna have some other new people coming on, potentially talking about some other things, and then as Mitch said, the usual people himself, Byron, Cedric, Jacob, Evan Debo. Now we have two Chelseas, the original one for the L7C Chelsea Police, and Justin Ackendell, the producer as well. And
yeah, shout out to Justin. Go listen to every track that he drops. They're freaking sweet.
So yeah, just keep supporting. I felt like it was just yesterday we were about to hit like 100 listens, and by the time this goes out, we'll be at over 800. So that's wild. And
yep. Hey listeners, one thing. Hey, check us out on social media, Facebook, Twitter. The whole shebang. But let me give you one heads up. You disagree, agree with anything we say, go ahead, start a thread so that we can read it, we can talk about it, and we can have, good dialogue. But I will fight you if you say some ignorant shit. I swear to God. Like if you don't agree or you do agree with us, that's awesome. And we want to talk to you. We want to know, because we want to correct our art. We want to get to know your thoughts better so that we can be smarter than what we think we are. But if you're going to hop on Twitter and be a troll, I'm coming at you and I'm not stopping. So you know.
Just look on the L7C Twitter and look through the last 30 so mentions, and you'll see exactly what Mitch is talking about. But yeah, Mitch will be back next month to go over the chapter. Shoot, since it's the 3-year anniversary, maybe Super comes out with breaking news saying the anime is coming back, and we have to do an emergency Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah, we're doing an emergency podcast. I'm telling my boss I quit my job and I am hopping on, and we are discussing it right then and there. So,
and by the next time you hear us, which will be around the 18th, 20th, Mitchell will be a dad. So show Mitchell some love, congratulating him in the future. Well, actually, a couple weeks by the time of Mitch having his first job.
Yeah, thank you. And no, he is not. I'm not naming him Go 10 or anything like that. So you'll just have to find out later. Tune in next time, folks.
But with that being said, thank you everyone for listening to the L7C podcast. You guys take care.
Yep. Have a good one, everyone. Thanks again.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.